Alright, Tyler, we're going to do a full screening on all of your cranial nerves today. So we're going to start with olfactory number 1. So close your eyes, please, and cover your left nostril. And tell me what you smell here.
Cloves.
Good. And now cover the other nostril.
Cloves.
Good. And did both of those appear equal in smell?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, now we're going to move on to cranial nerve 2. There's a lot of tests that we can do for this, like VAs, color vision, direct ophthalmoscopy. We're just going to check his pupils today. So let's go ahead and turn the light off here. And I want you to look out there toward that letter Tyler. So first I'm looking here at his pupils and dim illumination. They both appear equal in size, about 7 millimeters or so. And now I'm going to look in his right eye for a direct response. And now I'm looking in his left eye for a consensual response. Both are responding. Now I'm going to look in the left eye at his direct response. There's constriction, and now I'm looking at his right eye at his consensual response, and it constricts. Now we're going to do the swinging flashlight test to look for an APD. And both pupils are holding constriction there. Very good. So turn the light back on. So cranial nerve 2 is normal, so now we're going to check 3, 4, and 6 at the same time because it's the extraocular muscles. So Tyler, leave your head still for me and follow the light here with your eyes only. Let me know if you have any pain or double vision while we're doing this. Any pain or double vision?
No.
Good, so full range of motion there with extraocular muscles. Now we're going to move on to the trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal is mostly sensory, but we're going to do the motor portion first. So if you will, Tyler, I want you to clench your teeth together and make a chewing motion. And I'm just going to feel here, making sure that both sides are constricting equally, and they do. Now we're moving on to the sensory portion of the trigeminal. So we're going to start by letting you close your eyes. We're going to check all 3 major branches. And I'm going to use a safety pin here. I want you to tell me, Tyler, if you feel a dull sensation or a sharp sensation, okay? Right here.
Dull.
Good. It's the ophthalmic branch.
Sharp.
Good. Maxillary branch.
Dull.
And the submandibular on the right side. So now let's move to the left side. We're going to do the same thing, Tyler.
Dull.
Good.
Sharp. Sharp.
Very good. So all of those were normal. Cranial nerve 5 also innervates the cornea, so we're going to do a cotton wisp test. Tyler, I want you to look back out there toward that letter on the wall.
Okay.
And I want you to let me know when, as soon as you feel this cotton touch your eye, okay?
Now.
Good. And let's move on to the left eye.
Now.
Very good. And that was normal. So now we're going to move on to cranial nerve 7, the facial nerve, which is mostly motor. So if you will, I want you to close your eyes as tight as you can, and I'm going to try to pry them open. Good. We're looking for both sides to be equally strong and letting me prevent opening your eyes. Next, I want you to puff out your cheeks for me and make sure that both sides, again, appear equal. I see you trying to resist it, and that was normal. Good, and then lastly for cranial nerve 7, I want you to smile. Good, and frown. That's not a very good frown, but we'll give it to him. Both sides do appear equal. So next we're going to move on to the cranial nerve 8, the acoustic nerve. So first we're going to do the Weber's test. Put that on the apex of his head there. And tell me what you hear there, Tyler.
I hear sound in both ears.
Good. Is it equal?
Yeah.
Good. So next we're going to check the conduction versus air response. So this goes on his mastoid process back here. Tell me when you can no longer hear that ringing in your right ear.
No.
Good. Can you still hear it here?
Yes.
Good. That's a normal response. Let's move on to the left side. Same thing. Tell me when you can no longer hear it in your left ear.
No.
You still hear it?
Yep.
Good. That's a normal response. So now we're moving on to cranial nerves 9 and 10. So here we're going I'm going to get you to open your mouth for me. And we're going to check for the gag reflex here for cranial nerve 9. And also look at the uvula there. Good. Positive. And the uvula here is straight up and down. It's not deviated to either side. And next, I want you to say, ah. Very good. Uvula is not deviated there as well. So moving on to cranial nerve 11, the spinal accessory nerve. Tyler, I want you to try to shrug your shoulders here. Looking for equal shrugging ability there, and that's normal. And also with cranial nerve 11, I'm going to put my hand on the side of your face. I want you to turn your head toward my hand. Good. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Turn your head toward my hand. Good. And both of those are equal. Lastly, cranial nerve 12, the hypoglossal that innervates the motor, or the muscle of the tongue there. So go ahead and stick out your tongue, please, and make sure that the tongue comes out straight, doesn't deviate to one side or the other. And I'm going to put my hand on your cheek again. I want you to push your tongue toward the cheek. Good. Making sure that both sides are equal. And they are. And that concludes our cranial nerve testing.